Good morning, class. What does it mean to be different? Think about it quietly for a few seconds. Now, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to talk about the word different in your groups. After 2 minutes, we will share. So while students are discussing in their groups, I will be walking around to assess their prior knowledge by listening to their conversations. After students have finished discussing, I will call on students to share. Great job, guys! Being different means not alike. For example, my shirt color is different from John's. John's shirt is blue and mine is white. In today's lesson, we will learn about the importance of appreciating our differences. We will also learn about being able to retell a story. Good readers are able to show their understanding of a book by retelling it. Retelling is very important because it shows you understood what you read, which is the purpose of reading anything. It is also important for us to acknowledge each other's differences and to learn to appreciate them and to be respectful to each other despite of these differences. Each of you have a handout in front of you. I want you to look at the front sheet of your handout. Using only one color, only one crayon, I want you to draw a picture. You can draw anything you like. You can draw a house, a garden, your family, anything. You have 3 minutes to do so. Any questions? I will pause for questions. I will also call on a student to restate the directions, then students will be prompted to begin. Great job on those pictures. Now I want you to draw the very same picture using as many colors as you would like. Again, you have 3 minutes. You may begin. All right, now time is up. I want you to examine your pictures. Which picture do you prefer and why? How does the colors create a different picture? At this time, students will be called upon to share their answers. The purpose of this section is just to have students be able to tile. The purpose of this section is just to have students to be able to see how different colors create a beautiful picture, and later on, hopefully, after the story and the lesson, they'll be able to make connections between everything we've done. To continue learning about our differences, about how our differences make us special, we are going to watch and listen to the story, The Crayon Box That Talked. After reading the story, you will identify the main idea and the key details of the story. We know that all stories have a beginning, middle, and an end. In the beginning, the main character and the setting of the story is both introduced. In the middle, the problem is introduced, and in the end, the problem is solved. As you listen to the story, Keep this in mind to help you identify the key details of the story. I also want you to look at the anchor charts on the wall so that you can keep track of what you are to be remembering as you are watching and listening to the story. So, I will play the video of the story. Students will watch the video twice. While students are watching the video the second time, I will engage them in a discussion that will help them to identify the main idea and key details of the story. Throughout different points of the story, I will pause and ask questions such as, why didn't the crayons get along? Why did they dislike the orange crayon? Why did the little girl take home the crayon box from the store? What happened in the end of the story? After the whole group discussion, students will independently write about the beginning, middle, and the end of the story. They will also identify the main idea and the key details of the story. While students are writing, I will circulate to assess their progress towards meeting the goal of the lesson. Students will also be using the retelling checklist to help them complete this assignment. So in their handout, I created a retelling checklist. It's just a checklist that helps them to remember what they're supposed to include when they're writing about the story and what they should include in each part, including the beginning, middle, and the end. This checklist is also projected on the anchor chart that is on the wall. After students finish writing, students will engage in a group discussion. Students will also discuss the key points from the story and also make connections to why being different is good and why we should appreciate each other's differences. Lastly, I would say, stories have a beginning, middle, and an end. As we read, we should always identify these points to help us identify the key details and the main idea. Second thing I want you to remember is that our differences make us special and unique. Think of what our world would be if we were all the same.